Holy smokes. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Old Carver Fishing Podcast. Let me tell you, that was a lot of technical difficulties we had getting this going. That wasn't fun.
That really sucked.
That was not good. We're on a wireless camera system. He's got a MacBook.
I think we need to bring Lyle and Mark over, and they can just produce our show.
I think so
Then we'll
too.
just fly him back.
It's bad. I have an extra computer at home. I think I'm going to bring them. But besides the point, I am Luke Henches, Fish on Luke, Northwoods Angling on YouTube. And we also obviously have the man himself, Mr. Chuy Godinez Jr., owner of Old Carver Bait and Tackle Store here in Carver, Minnesota.
What's going on, guys?
And we got a special one today. I know we got quite a few people in here watching right now. And the guest today, he's quite the specimen. He's well known in the world of fishing here. He runs a YouTube channel called Catfish Crappie. Mark P. I'm not going to try to butcher Mark's last name. Should we get Mark in here? And
But wait, before we do that,
Okay.
Is Mark Lyle's favorite?
no, I'm Lyle's
You're
favorite.
Lyle's favorite.
Yep,
Okay, I just wanted to get that out of the way
that's
here
me.
real quick.
That's me. And this is Mr. Mark here.
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
You know, it ended up being all right. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I was just hanging out. I'm waiting on FedEx to come in. I didn't know this was going to be live. So if there's a doorbell ringing and a dog going crazy, you guys know what's going on.
I'm all right with it. The amount of the problems we just had for an hour, it literally took us an hour to get the camera going. We'd get the camera going, and then the audio would shut off. So not good.
Yeah, and just
It's always something. Usually I'll have my guests come in 10 minutes early, and if there's a problem, it's a mad scramble.
Yeah, he's on a MacBook with a wireless camera. It's the recipe for disaster, pretty much.
I've been trying to set up multi-cameras and stuff for a while at no avail, so we're still working on that. I'll be more than happy to fill you in once I get that figured out.
Yeah.
We do multicam on when we're not live.
Yeah, well, we're not live and we're pre-recording it. We can do multi-cameras, no problem. I can do it off my phone, but it just doesn't work with the laptop. And I guess I missed that when I purchased these beautiful cameras.
So tell us about how's your spring going? How are you doing? I know we don't talk much, so
Spring's been going pretty good. I'm finally getting back out to fish. Well, I wouldn't call it spring. We had 2 inches of snow this weekend, and I'm well far south of you guys. I know I shouldn't be complaining talking to you two folks. It's you two gentlemen, but we're still getting it down here. Water temps are still at around 45 degrees. I mean, the fish are there. It's just the wind has been crazy bad on any decent fishing day. So it's been kind of hard to get out. And I planned on going today. I got a notification from a shipper that I was going to get something a day early. And here we are still waiting for that to show up. So I'm glad I stayed home today to wait for that package to show up.
Well, we're glad you came in here tonight. We were going to write all these topics down. What happened was, Mark, here's where my excuses start coming out. I told Chewy, I said, well, when we're cooking fish, so what I did today, I went and bought a deep fryer the other day at Walmart, bought a couple things of oil. I was going to have a fish fry at my house. My friend ended up bailing on me. So I was like, well, I don't want to just cook a bunch of fish by myself. So I was like, well, I'll do it at the podcast. I'll cook the fish in the bait shop here before we get rolling. So I had a bunch of walleye, battered them up with my special fish batter. And
It's good.
yeah, when he says
really
good,
good.
he was drooling over here.
It was good. Mark.
It sounds good. Did you use some of that special spice that you turned me on to?
Oh,
Chef?
yes.
Yeah.
Of course. So cooked all that, sold some car parts here, and while we're doing that, Chewy was trying to get the podcast going, and then his brother-in-law is the other owner of the bait shop. He was ordering stuff for the bait shop, and we'll talk about some new stuff coming to the bait shop here later in the podcast. But you know what we're here for, Mark, is to talk about you.
Excellent. I'm here to talk about me too, I guess.
For people, especially up in Minnesota, a lot of our viewers are from around here. Tell us about yourself. Tell us where you grew up. You don't have to tell us how old you are. I mean, I know that's kind of a touchy subject, so we'll skip
It's
that.
not that touchy. I think, I went fishing with one of your guests this spring with Eric B. Had a great time. And you know what? At the end of that fishing trip, I came to the realization that maybe you are getting old. So
Dude,
I'm coming to terms with that. So we're good. So we're going to adjust the fishing to that and see what happens. But regardless of that, I'm about 30 miles north west of Chicago. I'm about 20 minutes south of the Wisconsin border in McHenry County, Illinois. I grew up in the city of Chicago, worked on the south side, lived down there for a little while. Fished a lot of urban stuff. For the most part, spent a lot of like a week every year, maybe 2 weeks if I got lucky, growing up in the north woods of Wisconsin or out in Lake Winnie, right? Winnibigoshish, is that how you say it out there in Minnesota?
Winnibigoshish. Yep, either one.
Winnibigoshish. Spent some time out there. Spent a lot of time cutting my teeth on Tippecanoe River in central Indiana. My parents had a little, we called it a cottage, but it was pretty much a cinder block building with a roof and a kitchenette and a bathroom. But that was all we needed out there. We spent all our time either on the water or right at its edge. So it was right there. It was pretty cool way of growing up. My grandfather is the one who taught me how to fish. He was the one who was in charge of babysitting me when I was a wee little lad, way back then. And it was either hang out at the corner tavern with him or go fishing. And he liked fishing a lot better. So that worked out for the best. That was a different time back then. So yeah, it was nothing to sit a kid in front of a pachinko machine and have the whole bar buy you ginger ale all morning. And notice I did say morning. So
yeah. Have you catfished your whole life then?
I have. It was a lot of bait fish, a lot of bottom fishing, a lot of carp, catfish, whatever would bite, every now and then. My grandfather was a disabled guy. He had one leg. He had an artificial leg that he lost when he was a young man. He was an immigrant from Poland. So it was subsistence fishing for the most part. They were fishing for food to, try to fill in what was coming up short. But
right.
That was a different time then. I don't so much do as much keeping and eating that he did back then, but I still like to eat fish just like you guys do up there.
So you pretty much been fishing your whole life and never really stopped, and now you're kind of doing
there was a time when I stopped when I first got married and I was more career orientated and stuff. I did stop, and then my career came to an abrupt ending. So we were starting a business and I got back to fishing in the downtime as the business was, not real busy or anything. So I got back into it, and that's when I found flathead. So
my friend John, he drives the yellow jet boat.
Yeah, I've seen him in your videos, and we did talk about his boat.
So he's from Indiana.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he had a near drowning experience on the Tippecanoe River.
That could very well be.
I think he got swept under something while he was canoeing down it or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of canoeing that would happen north of us. We would do a lot of. They would drop us in 6 hours north, and we'd be fishing for smallmouth on the way down. Some small channel cats and stuff. If you went down into Lake Schaefer, they tell me they were flathead down there, but it was comparable to any of the more popular pleasure boating lakes down on the lake.
Yep.
The river was a little different. It was real shallow. Our place was pretty much as far north as you could get with a boat without it being either jet or paddle or a canoe. So we were pretty lucky. Here's a little side note. Quentin from Catfish Karma?
Quentin Robbins?
Yeah.
Quentin Robbins. He grew up 8 lots down from where our cottage was.
Really?
Never met the guy until I had him on my show.
That's incredible, actually. Small world, huh?
Yeah, ours was a weekend cottage. So when we were there, we usually had guests or something. So, we were always busy. We didn't get out and do too much socializing other than, our immediate neighbors over there. Met a lot of good people down there, did a lot of fishing, a lot of wiper fishing, not any big ones, but little ones for some reason. Their stocking program or I have no idea why they never got as big as the ones I'm seeing these days. Like the ones at Spencer and
yep.
The guys out there are catching and Pig Patrol. Josh, he's getting on them pretty good sometimes.
Yep.
But we never saw them that big. They're always, I don't know, maybe 12 inches or something. We were happy to get them that size.
All right. Well, let me so how long have you been doing YouTube?
Probably like 2 years. I've been watching YouTube for a long time. I have my professional career was in the IT business, at least the second part of it. So I was an early adapter of the internet. And I've been on YouTube like forever, not as a content creator, but as a fan. You know, people like Chris Flores, you know, and Steve Douglas and all of them,
Yeah.
and Luke Nichols. You know, they're the ones that really got my catfishing going again, to be honest. So
Okay. And you kind of just wanted to follow. Did you start YouTube as you wanted it to be a career or something you do for fun or to trap memories, or what was your
you know
idea
what,
on that?
it's a hobby. I like doing it. You know, if I could turn it into a full-time career, that'd be fantastic. That's not the easiest thing to do, but you never know. I'll accept it if it happens. I don't think
Right.
anybody wouldn't. I know that you and I know a couple of people out there that have been fortunate enough to have that, you know, come into their life.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it a lot. I've been, you know, it's one of these things that we were sitting on the bank fishing for flatheads for the longest time. And I'd be trying to talk my derelict buddies into saying, you know what, we need to start a YouTube channel. Kind of like Luke and the Northwoods guys, I would tell.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, crack open another beer and forget about it. And then we didn't part ways. They got busy. They had a bunch of kids. They were a lot younger than me. So I had some time left over. I'm like, I'll just get into it. So I ended up on a gentleman, avid fisherman's channel one night. He told me he does a live show here. I think he's on Sundays now or something. He's quite the character. He's a good dude. He's always been really supportive of me. He had me on his show and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He absolutely wouldn't. And this was before I had any videos or had anything on my channel at all.
Right.
I was just getting started. And I got kind of thrust in the whole YouTube world through him. I went on there. People, you know, seemed to like what I had to say. So that it seemed pretty personable. My wife might disagree with him, but it just went from there. He had some issues at work and he said he needed somebody to take over for him on Friday nights at the time. And I kind of stepped up. I thought it was going to be a couple of weeks. It turned out to be like a 6-month stint doing it. And he didn't want the Friday nights back. So after a couple of moves around during the week, here I am Monday after Catfish Weekly.
Yeah. You've, so you do Catfish and Crappie, Panfish Nation. Are you full-time Panfish Nation then?
I am full-time. Me and Lyle host that together. I'm his co-host. I did like a 1-month stint as a temporary co-host for Catfish Weekly when Lyle was recovering from some shoulder surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a little experience there. I've been on a bunch of other podcasts and stuff. So I've always, you know, I grew up in Chicago, and Chicago's a huge radio town. So, you know, it was something that was always there. And I just never realized that it was something that I'd really enjoy doing. So here I am.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean,
It is.
I'm not amazing at podcasts, but I enjoy doing them, you know.
I'm the same. I'm the same way, guys. I got to meet Babe Winkleman. I got to talk to Babe Winkleman one-on-one. Well, me, him, and Lyle talked for like an hour and 15 minutes straight. Who gets to say they've been able to do that in their life?
Right. Not a lot of people.
No, I mean, I've been blessed with that. And I mean, there's some gentlemen that aren't your audience might not know, like Bob Lusk, who happens to be, you know, pretty knowledgeable biologist that has of all things, a pond company, but he builds ponds for Johnny Morris and the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. I got to spend a lot of time and pick his brain on Panfish Nation for that. I've had Dieter Melhorn on my show the day he did his catfish probing. Do you remember that one?
Nope.
You didn't see that, Dieter? Well, Dieter stuck his finger in a catfish and not in the right end either. And I'll send you a link to that. And he released that the day he was on my show. This is one of my highlights. This is a fond memory of mine. And Catfish Dave came in and was trolling my chat. That was the funniest thing. And then my buddy Josh over at the Weekend Angler went ahead and banned him. So we got to ban and time out Catfish Dave on my show. Stuff
That's
like
funny.
that. I've had Chris Souders on my show, got to talk to him. I mean, there's a long list. I've had Spencer, I've had Denny, so many people. I mean,
a lot of great people that are willing to do that. It's kind of nice.
I don't understand why, but I'm grateful they are.
Right. I mean, that's just it helps you and it helps them, and it's pretty nice as some of those bigger guys to jump in like that. And I'd like to get Souders on one day. I know he's a really good dude. I'd love to get him in here sometime. And
he's a great dude. He just adopted his second child, which happens to be his first adopted daughter's younger brother. So that worked out well for him. So I just wanted, if he ever hears this, which he might, you never know who's listening in the background too. We'll talk about that.
Sure. We might talk about that.
Once he gets all that settled in, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to do anything.
Right.
So,
well, we got how have you getting into the cats at all yet? Any channels or anything?
I've been catching them on the ice, just not anything big. A lot of channel cats and stuff. I stock my freezer with about like 5 pounds of fillets. I try to keep at least that many in the freezer. So
okay. Well, we still haven't got into. There's still 3 feet ice up north at my parents' house. And I don't even know if it'll thaw by opener. At the rate it's going now, it probably won't, because it's supposed to get warm for like a day and then get back down to the 20s at night again up there. So we'll see what happens. We need the water to warm up here. It's still, I bet you the Minnesota River is still below 40 degrees, which is unheard of for this time of year. It's one of the coldest late springs like this late April's.
I was just outside right before the show, getting some stuff out of my truck, and my daffodils and everything came popping up today, and it didn't reach over 40 degrees today. I was kind of surprised. And every night we're dropping into the freezing temps. I just don't get it. We're not getting any time. Usually we have a really hot ice out crappie season here, at least for me. I'll get on them. I'll get a week's worth of limits, easy, like nothing. And this year I had one day, the weather changed, it snowed, it didn't get above 29 degrees for 4 days after that, and the bite was lost.
Looks like we got a couple comments here. We got I know 61 South Outdoors said everybody's younger than you, Mark! Exclamation point. And then
Thanks, Rob.
And then Bugman says CNC in the house, and Sean, how do you say his last name?
Chili.
I can't see it from here. Fishing with Squirrels in here.
What's going on, guys?
So those are all guys that watch your podcast.
Yeah,
correct?
They watch our show. They're in the so-called catfish community that's become pretty tight, and it's growing more and more here on YouTube. They've welcomed me in with open arms, so I'm very grateful that these guys tune into my show every Monday night.
If anyone has any questions, so what I didn't get to say is we were going to I was going to write a bunch of topics and kind of think about what we should talk about in this podcast, but I think we're just going to end up winging it. I think that's probably our best bet now, because it was just chaotic. And right now the camera angle is triggering me because it's more towards me than it is towards Chewy, and it's really bothering my OCD. So I'm going to have maybe change that in just a second here. But I was going to say is we're waiting for the water to warm up here, and you do a lot of flatheads in the summer, right?
I do. We need 50. We need that magic 50 degrees before they bite. I know 2 guys here that I know of that got little ones, but other than that, I haven't been hearing much about it. I fished the Fox River here in Northern Illinois, and it's a pretty cutthroat flathead season just because it's so short. Usually by mid-April, we're doing pretty good. And here we're already coming up on the 20th tomorrow. And, we're 6 days out. We're counting days rather than weeks in our season. And I'm sure you know all about that too. As soon as that water drops in October, I think I got my last one last year, which was a dandy in October 14th, my parents' wedding anniversary. And that's how I remember that. So. Okay. Like a 38 pounder here. I did pretty good on that one, but I had a slow year last year. I just didn't get out to fish as much as I wanted to.
Ooh, Pontoon Jody's in chat now too.
There she is. What's up, Jody?
All the normals. So this is Chewy. You've never met Chewy in person, but I met Chewy when I came in the bait shop one day. He recognized me. He's like, I think we watch your show on my TV in here. And that was when I was
by mistake, Mark.
Yeah, by mistake. And then he was like, he's like, whatever you want, and it's for free every time. And he's like, I really love everything you do. And no, he didn't say
I just
that.
make him
but
I just make him pay for the things he doesn't stick in his pocket.
That's true. But no, I'd met these guys. This is kind of off topic, but I met Chewy and Rika, his cuñado, and we became good friends. And now I want to talk a little bit about what rods do you run? Do you run Lyle's rods when you're catfishing?
I have a bumping rod that was gifted to me by Lyle. And if he's either watching this now or later, thank you again, Lyle. I got a couple of rail splitters that the Mud Bums gifted to me back on the second Catfish conference. They gave me a hell of a deal. We're not going to go any further than that.
No, they were great to me as well.
They were great. We spent the whole night in the bar down there at the hotel in Kentucky. We had a good time. But anyways, I run those. Those are my flathead rods that I'm just used to. I like them. They're pretty heavy rods, but they got a super fast, like ultra fast tip. So I'm not losing as many hook sets as you would, at least not in a rod holder or not. We can talk about my evolution through flathead and stuff too, if you want to hear that.
I think that's probably enough. That's probably enough for one whole show if we do that.
Yeah, pretty much. Whisker Seekers, and I got some Uncle Lou's that I'm growing fonder and fonder of. That Uncle Lou Lee Reed is selling those now, so he's a good dude.
Well, Chewy, you want to talk about some new stuff you're getting this summer so they're getting really into catfishing stuff this year at the bait shop because there's really nothing around here, and he hasn't told me, but he was working with a company recently, and he didn't tell me what the outcome was.
Oh, they're on their way.
No, really?
They're on their way.
So we are going to be the only Hellcat or Catch the Fever dealer in Minnesota.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll have the Hellcats, and they're not it's not even my bait shop. I just feel like part of the family.
We run everything by you. I mean, that's why you know
you're
more than we do.
Dude, there's days when they have to both be at work or they're with their family. I just come open the bait shop for them.
That's cool.
I need a place.
You know, unfortunately, well, we're not going to get into the guy that owns the bait shop here. That's another story.
No, we could get into the stories like that here too, but we're not gonna.
Yeah, we got Hellcats.
Regular Big Cat Fever rods.
Big Cat Fever rods. They're the line.
Limited? Did you get limiteds or no? The black and blue?
We got 3
limiteds.
3 in a way.
Pretty good. So they're gonna have all the Catch the Fever stuff. They got some Warrior Cat rods. They're trying those out. People seem to like those black cat ones.
Yeah.
And then they just got another shipment of Whisker Seeker in.
And then we got Muddy River catfishing rods on the way. I think tomorrow Rico's gonna call. Chris.
You got Mad Cats too.
We got Mad Cats, so we have a couple more on the way.
They got a lot of stuff for a little shop, Mark.
That's cool. Well, I mean, I have a 2-rod limit here in Illinois. I know you guys have less than that up there, and I don't know why I have 26 rods in the garage. There's no reason for it, but I got them.
Yep.
And the thing that I'm waiting to be delivered here today is more fishing gear. So there you go.
Yeah, I just sold 9 rods of my.
I can't bear to sell them.
I had to. I just couldn't do it. Because Catch the Fever. I started using their rods, and I got some of their rods, and I was like, I need to get rid of some of these rods because it's bad, Mark. I'm just gonna say that.
I got my hands on some of those Hellcats. I was fishing with my buddy Cliff here last year, and he got some from Catch the Fever. He had like 4 of them with Taconas on them, and they're pretty nice rods. I thought about pulling a trigger when I got home, though. I looked at that. Keith from Fishing Stuff, he had a how-to on how to build a PVC rod rack, right?
Yep.
Well, I got one that holds like 16 rods, and I still got rods laying over the garage. That's not even the rest of my. You guys all know how it is. I don't know any angler who isn't like that. So
if anyone's in this chat that's selling orange Catfish Special Abu Garcias, I didn't want to go back to Abu, but now that I have all orange Hellcats, I kind of want.
I know someone who's selling 6 orange 7000s.
6 of them.
6 of them, and the guy takes care of his stuff like it's gold.
You need to PM me. Don't say who it is in here.
All right. I just saw him post it. I've done he's a good guy. He actually sent me a transducer. So
it's not Davidson, is it?
Is it what?
It's not Davidson, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. Because someone else was selling some. So every rod has a time and place. That is exactly correct. So I'm a big rod snob. Like, dude, if I don't like one thing about a rod, even for catfish, I won't use it. It
I
just
hear you.
triggers me.
I got one rod that was all the rage, still is nowadays. I'm not going to mention their name, but for some reason I bought a heavy, and the only time I've ever used that rod here on the river, I lost like 4 fish in a night. That's enough. Came home and it sat there until I went sturgeon fishing with Eric. He's like, bring the heaviest rod you got. Brought it with me. So that's the only other time that I used it. So I'll hold on to it for that reason.
I am. You got to build that bench that rolls around, Mark. Best thing ever.
Yeah, Rob's got a really cool tackle bench. It's like a full-blown bench. It's like, I think it's like 8 feet long on rollers, and he ties jigs at it, and he's got all his rods on the backside. It's pretty cool stuff.
I'll tell you what I am excited for. I got 4 Hellcats shipped to Idaho. I go to Idaho in 2 more days, and I'm going white sturgeon fishing with those extra heavy Hellcats. I'm so jacked.
I think you're going to have a blast up there. That's on my bucket list of stuff to do, definitely.
Oh, man. I love white sturgeon. It's just something about launching 100, 200, 300, 400-pound fish. Just something about it. I don't know. It's hard to hate.
Man, when we go to that special place that's near my house, those channel cats do tail stands, that gets me excited. I can only imagine I see 8 foot of fish standing on its tail.
That's what it's when you're fishing that. If you guys have never done this, we're talking about a specific body of water. Me and Mark have both fished and are going to fish together here in 3 weeks in Wisconsin. And with this body of water, when the fish get into a certain area of the lake, it's very shallow. I'm talking you can fish in a foot of water, and you'll usually hear the splash from the catfish tailing up, grabbing the bait before your rod even bends. It's incredible.
And I always got that Whisker Seekers, the whisker stick. I love using those on channel cats for some reason. I'll always have one out all summer long, and I'll have one out when I'm up at Mendota the whole time I'm there, and it's always a blast. And you're exactly right. You hear that tail slap before they even hit the bait, or before you even realize they do.
I know Tara's never caught a big chan like that, and so she's super excited to come hang out with all of us. And I've been talking it up, and she's obviously seen our videos we put out, and the size fish that are in that lake is just something special. Let me tell you, and they're cool looking too.
I like going up there. It's going to be a yearly thing for me, definitely.
Well, you only live 2 hours away.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going this weekend. That's why I was hoping to get. That's why I was hoping to get this pack. This package consists of a brand new fish.
Well, if you go solo, and the bite is good, just let me know and I'll drive out quick.
Yeah, the bite's always good. You just got to know where to fish. I know a couple of spots over there. My buddy Jonathan over at Hooked Catfish, he took me out there once and kind of gave me the intel. And Ryan from Setting Hooks and Cross Eyes, he's a good dude.
Yeah, I didn't get into this, but so our last show we filmed on that lake was in the channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were still out in the lake coming into the channel, but the wind was so bad we couldn't fish the lake where we knew they were. And it made even that little bay with the cattails prior to the channel you couldn't even fish it. It was so windy.
That lake, I've been on that lake in October with 30-mile-an-hour winds, like in the deep section right off that one big point.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we had like 3-4 foot rollers. It was crazy out there. It's just a big open lake, but when you start fishing where we're going to be fishing, it's a little better, but that flat can get pretty choppy even with a little bit of wind.
Yeah, and the night fishing out there is fun too. A lot of people don't do it, but it is so much fun.
I think we talked about this. I'm thinking about maybe taking my buddy Lyle out there, maybe put him on like a big old flathead just north of there a little ways, but it might still be early, especially that far north. So
I think it'll be early.
Yeah.
But I think Lyle, he can get those perch that he wanted to catch. I think we could probably find some of those perch out there. It shouldn't be too hard.
I wouldn't mind taking a limit of them home either. So,
speaking of fishing, I need to get Chewy in the jet boat this year.
Yeah, we got to get out there.
I know since he came from down by Mexico, he wasn't a big fan of ice fishing. He was terrified of the ice. I don't think he's terrified of the water. So
I went on the ice this winter.
But you've only done it a handful of times, right?
Yeah, well, I went on the ice. Actually, I was walking the bank and I ended up on the ice. So that
How many years have you lived here?
22 years.
How many times have you been on the frozen lake?
Maybe 20 odd times.
Not very many.
I mean, I wait till like there's like mobile homes out there, and then I'll step up.
I didn't start like doing any serious ice fishing until I had that, that fishing rebirth, I guess you can call it, after, my career and stuff, kind of after I got laid off. And Luke, they were going to ship me to Costa Rica, and then they offered me the salary, and I said no. Can you imagine the fishing down there?
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't
That would've
imagine.
been awesome.
I'm going there, so.
But we always did. I hope to go there too someday. I would ice fish here and there. Somebody'd have to take me, but again, someone told me this. They say, I hate ice fishing, but I love the fish, so I ice fish.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I stand on the ice fishing stuff.
Gosh.
And I it all depends on what lures we design. We haven't designed an ice fishing lure like in 6 years, 7 years. So once they get designing something new, then that'll get the bug in me, and then I'll definitely get out there. But just to go out like that, me and the ice, we just.
Speaking of lure design,
Nice,
Chewy was
yeah.
showing me. He filled up his bathtub in his house to test the action of a lure.
Oh that video was from 2005.
His wife really appreciated it. He said.
Oh yeah, this weekend, yeah, I filled up the bathtub. I was looking at some masters that I had made, throughout the years, and Rika really wants to put something out there new. So I was looking at all of them, and I grabbed a couple, filled the bathtub up, and then I drained it. And she says, "You filled it up just for that?" And I was like, "Well, I need a testing tank, so I can drop the dogs in there if you want." And give them a bath so the water don't go to waste. But it's just one of those things that it goes in your head, it clicks, and you just gotta see them. It's been a while since I designed them. I gotta look at the way they move, so it kind of reminds me what I'm supposed to be looking at when I duplicate them. But it looks like we picked a couple for this season, and hopefully that we can produce them the right way.
So Mark,
Yes,
where are you at? So Mark's been doing this head-to-head crappie tournament, or is it catfish?
it's like catfish. I'm doing a crappie one this Saturday, but we'll talk about that later. I did a March Madness 1-versus-1, pretty much like a bracket tournament, but instead of there being set brackets, the winners get to choose who they want to fish against.
And this was live, guys. He had how many people were fishing live on your channel at that
We
one
had
time?
we had 8 people fishing at we had 4 1-versus-1s going at once. It was me and then a co-host at certain times, and I switched them out. I had Lyle on there for a while and a couple of other guys. But that went on for the whole month of March and into the first week of April. The weather was really bad. It was a rough tournament, but we had a lot of fun. It's a good time. The competitors get to make up their own rules aside from my set rules, which are common sense stuff like no foul catching, CPR, stuff like that.
Yep.
And they get to make up rules on who gets to win by what means. So if they do a numbers or a weight or a length, or some guys came up with these point systems where, fish between 5 and 10 pounds are worth a point, 10 to 20 are worth 2, and so on. And some of them guys kind of got burnt by that stuff too. So you got to be careful. You got to play it. You got to pick the right people to the person to fish against that you're going to win. And it works out well. It really caused a lot of buzz, which is what I'm more happy about than anything. Any of the other, shows or channels or even videos, they were talking about it. And that really made me proud to be able to provide that entertainment for everybody in our little catfish community. So
yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, we had the last 2 men standing was Freddie Beck and Jeremy Dufour of Creole Catfishing. Gentleman that fishes the Atchafalaya, which is right off the Mississippi River down in Louisiana. Okay. And he happened to win 2nd year in a row. But he'll be back next year. I give the 2 winners every tournament a buy-in. So everybody else, and they don't get to pick until the end, and they can't pick each other. Those are kind of.
You do it next year, do it after our ice goes off up here, so we can maybe be part of it.
I think we might have to do that just because of weather. Well, I'm going to do one in the fall here, Luke.
Okay, right when I'm sturgeon fishing. Yeah, it's a good time.
Well, when's fall start for you? August?
No, usually end of
September.
September. I'm usually starting to kick up the sturgeon a little bit. But another contest news. local news is so we have the whisker around here on the Mississippi River. Darren Troseth, Detro Outdoors. He used to be Detro. He's one of the oldest catfishing YouTubers on the planet. And Detro Fish On. He used to be. Now he's Three River Fishing Adventures. He's a fishing guide now, so he changed his channel to that. But he puts on the whisker run. I've been fishing it for probably 10 years now, and this June, he's doing the biggest buy-in one he's ever done. It's $100 a boat, which is usually like 40 a boat. And he's going up to 50 boats this one. So if anyone that's watching this is out of state and wants to come fish the Mississippi River here, it's no blue cats. There's no blue cats in Minnesota, but big flatheads and really big channels. Definitely invited to message me and come check it out if you're interested.
It sounds like a good time. Oh, another side note: the winner did get half all the super chats for the whole event, so that was a decent check. That
that's nice.
The winner got. So that's how we do all of that.
That's real nice. I didn't know that. So crappie's your next one, and then you're gonna probably
I'm doing like a test one, hence the name Catfish and Crappie. I got to do something with crappie or sooner, besides just have a video here and there. But
I mean, you write the rules; you don't have to.
Yeah, I call myself a tournament director, so a couple of guys kind of get a kick out of that. Some of them not so much, but we're going to do like a 4-hour quick tournament this weekend. A couple of people had to back out because of some family issues and stuff. So it's just going to be a friendly one. And I kind of wanted to see where it would go, get a feel for it and see what happens. And we'll go from there. I'm by means not the only guy who does this. I'm not the first. Your other brother, Chad,
Yep.
he started the, at least in our community, the online tournament one. He started with the couples tournament.
Yeah, there's a huge one that goes on Twitch in the summer. It's crazy.
Is there? Yeah, and you know what? I got invited out here to H to H is coming out here, so I got invited to come out there and check that out up here on Lake Geneva. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, that'll be. Fun.
Almost forgot, Mark. April 30th. April 30th. If you guys are watching here from Minnesota and you're a cat fisherman or any kind of fisherman, April 30th, they're having Old Carver Bait here. This is kind of the midstream plug, Mark.
Okay.
Old Carver Bait here is doing a opening for the spring, summer. It's a catfish themed opening. I guess they'll have everything out, but they'll have all the rods out. We're going to be grilling food outside Saturday. We're going to start at about, I think we'll start at about 11 a.m. probably.
How many weenies are in a pack?
I don't know.
Like 8 maybe? All right. Well, the first 8 people get free hot dogs.
All right, here, I got this down to a science. Barbecue's my other passion. You got 5 in regular, or you got 10 in regular length hot dogs, and the bun length one's got 8.
There you go.
Okay.
Then the first 8 people get a free hot dog.
We give everyone a free hot dog. They're so cheap.
I don't want to spend all day cooking.
I'm gonna be cooking.
All right. Well, there you go. Then
I'll be grilling. I'm gonna grill from 12. I'm gonna grill from 12 to 2.
I'll make sure Rika brings the boxes.
12 to 2. I'm grilling, guys. So if you want food, free hot dogs and maybe some burgers, come in. We'll do burgers too. 12 to 2. We're gonna do a rod giveaway. We're gonna do some gear giveaway. We are also, my 118-pound blue catfish is gonna be in the shop.
Yeah.
So
you have velvet ropes around there. I'd be careful with that.
No, it's going to be behind the counter.
Okay. Behind the counter, about 10 feet high.
Yeah, it's not going to. Nobody's touching it.
No one's even close to it.
If you want to touch it, you got to put a down payment.
Yeah, believe me, this took a lot of talk, Mark. I mean, this has been 2 months of talking on this.
I heard whispers of that talk that was going on a little bit, and
I wasn't gonna, but I wasn't gonna.
You can see Luke grimace a little bit just thinking about it.
I wasn't gonna do it, but I'll do it. I'll bring it in. Why not? I mean, you only live once, right?
Yeah, you could also get it. I'm sure getting it fixed a lot cheaper than getting it made. That's for sure.
That is factual information.
I'll tell you what, if we can get one of the Catfish and Crappie hats, we can have a contest to see whoever can hit them off with a sinker.
No.
We get the one that hat.
You know what? Let me check my supply. I actually think I'm out. I might have one laying around in the other room. If I do, you guys can give one of them away.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. You just I'll let Luke know, and then you guys can get me the address, and I'll ship directly to the winner. How's that sound, guys?
I like
So-
that.
So tell us more about that crappie contest.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just going to be 4 hours. It's called the Size Matters Crappie Tournament. I got a lot of pushback. I was going to make a 10-inch minimum length in order for it to count. It's a numbers tournament, but we're going to try this one with 9 and see what it's like being the first one. If it turns out where there's like 600 fish caught, we're going to up it to like 10 next time, and we'll go from there basically. And then we'll give away a bunch of prizes and stuff in chat to the chat box. I got a couple of sponsors that are helping out. I got Crappie Man Jigs. I got Crappiezilla's got some stuff for me to give out. Who else do I got? I contacted a couple. Lyle's going to give out a box of his. Here, look at this. Now who's his favorites? You got one of these, Luke? I don't think you got one of these, do you, bud?
I have like 4 or 5 of those you sent me. Yep.
I think he's going to give away one of them. Maybe he'll pop up on screen. So it's just going to be a quick one. It's going to be 7 a.m. our time, Central Standard Time, Mississippi time, and 8 o'clock Potomac River time.
I like that.
All bait, live bait, artificial bait, everything goes.
Anything goes this time. It don't matter to me. And it's not a CPR only. If you're keeping within your regulations, I don't care if you take the crappie home. I don't mind at all.
Yeah, they aren't flatheads.
Yeah, they're not flatheads. They're not big old and stuff. And plus, they propagate so quickly, don't they? Luke would know better than me. They're pretty quick to grow back.
I'm not a huge crappie guy. I don't understand their biology.
Well,
I
you
just
got
know that
walleye by you. You're used to the bigger slab of meat. Down here, we're
Yeah.
crappie people. We don't have as many walleyes as you guys do.
all I know is males get really dark.
They do
during
this
slow
time of year.
spawn.
I don't know about this weather. I don't know.
Right. No, I don't even think the spring crappie bites even started yet on the river here.
No.
It's just too cold. This weather is just horrible. It was 40 degrees yesterday, like 20 something at night, and then today got up to 47. I saw it's supposed to be 71 degrees on Saturday when I'm in Idaho, and it's supposed to be like 50 in Idaho. So I'm going from really nice weather to crappy weather in Idaho, but I get to see mountains and catch big sturgeon, so I'm not too
I was gonna
upset
say,
about it.
And 50 degrees ain't bad at all. I'll take 50 degrees any day of the week here, lately at least.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been a interesting journey so far. I can't remember a mid to late April this cold ever. Honestly, I'm not sure.
I remember some late snowstorms, but nothing that kept on coming day after day after day. You'd have your warm days, and then it'd be just like the opposite of fall. We'd have, instead of Indian summer, we'd have, cold couple of days of cold, but not like this.
Gosh, you have you have any shows planned? Do you have any guests planned that we can talk about here before we cut her off?
I got a couple of we're gonna do the wrap-up show next Monday, definitely. The wrap-up of the tournament. I like to do that after I have this. And then I got a couple ideas of stuff of people to come on. I just had Ted Ellenbecker on for an Ask Me Anything the last week. That was a real fun thing to do. We do a master series on my channel where I get people that I really want to talk to one-on-one and not in front of usually my podcast is recorded live, but I'll do this masterclass series when I really want to talk one-on-one with somebody about any given topic. Like I had one with Lyle, had one with Ted. Hopefully we'll have one with you, Luke. I'm putting you on the spot. We'll go
we can do a masterclass in like launching a boat. I think that'd probably be a good one.
That'll work. Or how to cook some hot dogs for 2 hours, right?
I really want to. I talked about it. I talked about, where me and Chewy want to really get this podcast going and figure out the podcast game. There's obviously a touch to it to be really good at having the art of doing podcasts and like topics and staying on topic and not getting off topic and staying in your time, man. You know how it all goes.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. It's who I really admire who's been doing it forever is Lyle with Catfish Weekly, because he'll have people on there that it's not that they're bad guests, they're just not in the public eye type of guests.
Right.
He's able to keep them moving or take over when he needs to do. He does a really good job with that.
I don't know that Lyle guys. He's been doing it a while.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a little while.
Okay. Yeah, he sounds familiar. I just can't put a name to the face. It's weird. But we want to have a lot more women anglers on our podcast. I think that'd be cool because the women are sticks, and there's so many good women anglers that are better than most guys I know.
I couldn't agree more. I have a couple of lady angler friends, and I'd be more than happy to, ride passenger in their boat any day of the week and have them put me on fish because they can do it just as well, if not better than me. So,
well, someone just commented in here. His name is Chris Winchester. He would have been my vote for Fishing Catfish Hall of Fame from the ACA. I think I mentioned that to you.
Yeah,
He is a guide on Pool 4. He is an original. He's probably the most prolific catfisherman in Minnesota ever. He used to, when you used to watch the VHS tapes with Fisherman and Toad and Stangy, Chris was taking them fishing. Chris Winchester he took Tara out for her sturgeon too.
Oh, awesome.
That was Chris Winchester. He runs Everett's Resort. He is one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet, and humble, I should say. But you want to talk about someone that's got a history with, TV from the 90s, like VHS days. That Chris is him. That's the guy. So if you were down to want to fish Pool 4 and get guided by Chris for huge walleye, giant catfish, or big sturgeon, obviously you could see on Tara's video. I mean, she had a chance at a 60 plus and a high 50 in one night.
That was a cool video. I did comment on that, and I let her know that I was pretty happy for her. I think she's got my PB bet, so we'll get her next year though.
We got the biggest TikTok fishing live streamer in the world in chat right now, Chunky Cats Fishing.
Chunky, what's going on, Elston?
If you guys don't know Chunky, he used to be a big supporter of my live streams. He's the biggest fishing TikTok streamer now, I believe, in the world, or one of the top ones for sure. Definitely in the United States of America. So everyone say hi to Chunky.
I don't think I've seen anybody else has more followers than him. Actually,
he's got the amount of likes he gets in the stream. I've never seen him get under 1 million when he's actually fishing. It's weird. I don't know I want those numbers.
You and me both.
I get jealous. I was like, dude, your energy. I can't do that kind of energy. He's got that crazy energy. I'm too old for that shit. You know what I mean, Mark?
You're too old for that shit. I know exactly what you mean. Holy smokes. That's the only reason why I might move up north with you, so I can drive out onto the ice instead of walking out on the ice, Luke.
No, I think he's going to come here this fall if I can convince him to come. I mentioned it to him. I'd like to take him out sturgeon fishing out here.
Cool.
I think that'd be fun to get the black lights in my boat and let her rip for a little bit.
Hey, you're going to have them orange rods out there, so you'll be good.
I know, and he runs Hellcats now too, so it's perfect. But I think we're gonna cut you off on this one, Mark. But I know this is the first time we've had you on, and we appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You do a great job, and I know we don't talk much. It's nice to talk to you. So
it is.
And as soon as we get the setup going here and we put these benches up, then we'll do that jig tying.
Absolutely, on Panfish Nation, we got to do that.
Yeah, Panfish Nation.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Nation.
Everybody's been kind of wanting us to start that up again, and with summer happening and stuff. And Lyle's a jig tying machine. He's been tying the heck out of him.
You got to remember, he was around for the dinosaurs. He's been doing it a long time.
Like they use T-Rex hairs.
I'm just kidding. I love Lyle.
No more bucktails.
I can only give him so much crap, but we appreciate. How do people find you? If they want to reach out to you or watch your stuff?
Catfish and Crappie and Google and YouTube, you'll find me. Definitely. If you want to contact me, you can contact me through my website. I got contact form, catfishandcrappie.com. If you want to get to my YouTube page, you can go to catfishandcrappie.net. That'll take you directly there. You'll be all set. All the social media, I'm the same on all of that too.
All right, Mark, we're going to pull you out of here. I appreciate you coming in, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
All right. Thanks for having me, fellas. Good luck to you. Have a good time on the 30th.
Thank you. Well, guys, that was a good one. We got
to bring him back sometime in June so that we can get more in depth in the crappie.
I agree. Crappie, yeah.
Crappie. If I say
You're
that,
in Minnesota.
if
You say it
If I
right.
say it that way, Mexicans won't
You
understand.
say it right. You're in
I'll say it the way I
Minnesota
wanna say
now.
it. But we got to bring him back and get more in depth and presentations.
We
types
can
of
do a
baits,
crappie stream. I just didn't. It's spring. I'm feeling the catfish,
Yeah. Rico's feeling crappy.
But if you guys are so news we can share before we end this podcast. We got a little bit to talk about. I put out a new video today since
Yeah.
Chewy never brought it up.
Oh, sorry.
That's
we only talked about it for like
That's
15
why
minutes.
I do it. I got a new video on my channel, Fish on Luke, came out today. Another news about YouTube is Jacob is almost done with his season on TV, and we're gonna get back to putting Northwoods videos out. So you guys can look forward to that. That should be fun to do because he's amazing at what he does, and I love making videos with Jacob. He's taught me pretty much everything I know about camera presence and videography. So,
Yeah.
The catfish opening at the bait shop, guys, is the 30th Saturday.
Yep.
We'll probably open it up at about 10. We'll have everything ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'll grill from like 12 to 2. If you guys want to come in and eat some food, we'll have all the rods out. My 118 pound catfish will be out here. Chewy's gonna have his custom baits out. If you guys want to, we got tons of hooks here. We're gonna have the weights out, swivels, you guys name it, the whiskers, all the Whisker Seeker stuff, Whisker Seeker scales, Whisker Seeker terminal. We got the Gamakatsus, we got the Predator stuff from Richard. We got a lot of cool stuff in the shop this year.
Yeah.
Big rod selection. Big rods.
Wanted to say, just apologize to. I did go back home to El Paso a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't. I only had a couple of days that I was there with family, so I didn't have enough time to meet up with a lot of you guys. But I do plan to go back, and some of you were asking about the shootout. If we're gonna have that with bass grabbers there, the El Paso chapter, and I haven't talked to Ryan yet. And also apologize to Ryan. I didn't get back to you, buddy, but I will send you a message sometime this week, and we could talk about it. But if Ryan and the bass grabbers chapter in El Paso want to do the shootout, I do not mind flying down there and helping them organize it. We haven't had a shootout here in like 6 years. So pretty much what the shootout is it's just a 1-versus-1 platform bass, biggest bass. You got 30 minutes to fish for the bass, and you can only choose 2 lures for that round. We'll get more in depth as we get closer to it. But yeah, so if it does happen, I don't know if it's going to happen here in Minnesota.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just a tournament. You know. It's a bass tournament. Luke doesn't know anything about the bass tournaments. And also we did plan to have last year. We did plan to have the Ultimate Frog Challenge here in O'Dowd here in Shakopee, but the water levels just didn't work with us, and so that's why we get canceled. But if this season things look better, then we'll probably relive that and revive it and maybe have the Ultimate Frog Challenge here too. And I'll make Luke go with me, so he'll be my partner.
That's fine.
So yeah, so I just want to apologize to you guys. I know I had a lot of text messages from a lot of you guys down there that to meet and to talk, but I didn't have enough time. But we'll meet up soon. And so we got everything else. What else are we missing?
I don't think we're missing. I just saw someone says something Snake River Slayer. I'm going to the Snake River in 2 days, so not for catfish, obviously.
Oh, that Snake River.
Snake River's in Idaho.
Joey.
That's where I'm going. But other than that, I think we kind of winged that one. We had a lot of technical difficulties, like we said here at the beginning, but it was fun. Talking with Mark's good. Mark likes to talk, and it makes this easy for us since we didn't have a lot of topics to talk about.
Yeah, so I say we got to bring him back.
We'll get Mark back. Mark can go on for he wanted to get into a lot of stuff, but I think I got to keep him on a short leash because that man, he's got a lot of smarts in his brain. He's a real smart guy, and he's good at talking. So I let him out. Mark, it's kind of like one of those zip zap leashes that you got a little button on it. I let you out a little and then I rip you back. You know what I mean? But no, we appreciate all you guys. Me and Chewy really like doing these podcasts. We're gonna get more of an area where this is permanent. We have to set this up every time. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but we're gonna get some more fish mounts and we're gonna make it look a little sturgeon.
That's another topic that we did talk about.
Yeah.
About in the future.
So I'm gonna have a
So,
lot to
yeah.
talk about once I get back from my Idaho trip. I'm gonna be doing brown trout on the Snake River, and then I'm also gonna do white sturgeon. So I'm gonna be down by American Falls and CJ Strike. So I'll be in that area for the most part. Yeah, thank you guys for me and Chewy and the Old Carver fishing crew. Thank you guys for coming into this podcast.
Yeah,
This is
thank
probably
you
the biggest
guys.
audience podcast we've ever had.
Yeah, for Tuesday
For
all days.
He doubted my Tuesdays. But no, we're getting into it. We're learning as we go. And yeah, thank you guys for coming in here. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Old Carver Fishing Podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to me, Fish on Luke on YouTube. And yeah, come on into Old Carver Bait, guys. We do the podcast from here. And they'll be opened up. Are you guys opening up that week, right?
We'll open up maybe
A little bit.
Maybe on Thursday or Friday we might open up for a bit, but none of that catfish stuff is going to be out till the 30th.
They want to have all the stuff out for the opening on the 30th. So if you want to come in and see my 118-pound catfish that I have a replica of, all the rods will be here. Whisker Seekers, Arctic and Hellcats and the big Catch of Fevers will all be here. Mad Cats will be here. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun. Come for the giveaways. Come to hang out. You don't have to buy anything. Come hang out and check out the shop.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
So we will be on next Tuesday, guys. I think I'm getting home at 1 a.m. on Monday, so it's gonna be an interesting couple days. But we're gonna plan next Tuesday. I don't know who we're gonna have yet. So if you're interested in coming on the podcast, also shoot me a message on Facebook and or Instagram at Fish on Luke. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us.
You guys have a great night.